ASUS has yet again launched an army of Zenfone 5s this year at MWC, and today we are taking a quick look at the Zenfone 5 ZE260KL. That's a mouthful. Anyway, since we are already talking about names, my name's Ash, you're watching C4 Tech, and let's get to the Zenfone 5 video now. Okay, before we begin, here's a card to our current giveaway as well as a link in the description below, and while you're down there, why not click on that bell icon? You don't want to miss out on any of our MWC coverage now, do you? The Zenfone 5 builds on the design language that we first saw with the Zenfone 3. The back as well as the front is covered with 2.5D curved glass, and the way it catches light is frankly quite stunning. The rear also sports a dual camera setup, and beneath that we have the fingerprint scanner. Turning the phone to the front, we have a 6.2-inch display. ASUS has managed to keep the bezels to a minimum with this 18:9 panel and claim to have achieved a staggering 90% screen-to-body ratio. Anyway, to get that huge number, some corners had to be cut, and ASUS decided the best way to go about it was with a notch right in the middle. Now, the design does look like ASUS took a few cues from the latest Apple flagship, but one can't claim Apple took a page out of Xiaomi's playbook, and we can go on and on and on. Honestly, does it even really matter? Android phones like the Essential phone have already opted for a notch, and even the latest version of the OS, or the one that's gonna come, Android P, is supposed to have support for the notch. Personally, having used the iPhone 10 for a while, I could say that you kind of get used to it over time. So there you go, address the elephant in the room. Moving on. Now, there is a lot more to talk about. First, let's talk about that display. Now, this is a 6.2-inch IPS LCD panel with a Full HD Plus resolution. The display is very color accurate and adds an Apple True Tone-like feature that adjusts the color temperature of the display automatically based on your ambient lighting. Pushing all those pixels, we have the Snapdragon 636. Yes, it is the same chip as found on Xiaomi's Redmi Note 5 Pro, and with that we get 4 or 6 gigs of RAM depending on the model, along with 64 gigs of onboard storage. But there's also a dedicated microSD card slot. Powering all of this, we have a 3300 mAh battery, and it comes with fast charging support. Well, sort of. ASUS calls it Boost Master. The Zenfone 5 also features AI charging. It intelligently controls the charging speed depending on your daily schedule. Like, how do I explain? It would probably charge slower if you put it a charge overnight and conserve battery health. And if you're plugging it in the morning, it would charge as fast as possible. So, we will have a lot more to say about this once we get our hands on a review unit. In fact, these AI features are something ASUS seems to be quite focused on when it comes to the Zenfone 5 lineup. We even have ASUS AI Boost, which is supposed to give a one-tap speed increase with regards to gaming and other intensive tasks. All of it is powered by the AI engine on the new Snapdragon 636. Now, speaking of AI, let's talk cameras. To the back, we have dual cameras. The primary snapper is a 12 megapixel IMX363 sensor with an f1.8 aperture, whereas the secondary shooter has a 120-degree wide-angle lens with an f2.2 aperture. We also have 4-axis optical image stabilization on the primary camera for those low-light images, and there is a combination of OIS plus EIS at your disposal for video recording. And if you were wondering if the 636 can capture 4K video, because it couldn't on the Note 5 Pro, or at least not yet, it can over here. The Zenfone 5 has support for 4K video recording, and it also happens to feature a full-fledged Pro mode, a cool add-on for those who like to get their photos just right. Now, speaking of software features, we have intelligent scene selection powered by the AI again that ASUS have baked into this phone. It can detect 16 different scenes, and here's a couple of examples. You can see how it automatically manipulates the white balance, saturation, and other camera options. Even under low light, the Zenfone 5 manages some decent shots with good dynamic range. There's also a portrait mode for all of you guys who love bokeh. Coming to the front camera, we have an 8 megapixel snapper, f2.0 aperture, 84-degree field of view, and ASUS now has support for facial unlock. ASUS claims their face unlock can unlock the phone in as fast as 0.1 seconds. Do you guys want us to do a comparison between various phones with face unlock to figure out who is the fastest? Let us know in the comments below. Anyway, coming back, this seems to be the year of the stereo speakers. First the Galaxy S9 and now the ASUS Zenfone 5. Now there are two speakers and the volume output through them is quite loud. Sundar says it's louder than on the Pixel 2 XL. Moving on, we have high-res audio and DTS Headphone X support, features that should please audiophiles. ASUS has put a fair bit of thought into the software as well. The Zenfone 5 runs on the latest Zen UI on top of Android 8.0 Oreo. There's not much bloat on board this device, only a few essential social media apps like Facebook, Instagram, and a few others that come preloaded. The entire experience felt snappy and the user interface felt a lot more cleaner. The AI adds some nifty little features like intelligent ringer volume control, something I'd appreciate a whole lot. Oh, and there's Zenmoji. Or Zenimoji, I don't know, something like that. Everyone's doing it, so why not ASUS too, I suppose. Well guys, that about wraps up everything we know about the ASUS Zenfone 5. Yes, I know I haven't mentioned pricing, but it's only because we don't have any information on pricing yet. I wouldn't really hazard a guess because in the past, ASUS have kind of been all over the place with regards to the Zenfone pricing. Like the Zenfone 2 was very competitively priced, the 3 not so much. The 4, I don't think that made its way to India. The 4 selfie did, the 4 didn't. So we hope ASUS brings the Zenfone 5 to India and they bring it at a competitive price. Maybe give the Redmi Note 5 Pro a run for its money. Okay, I don't see that happening, but based on ASUS's recent trends, I'd be happy if they launched it around 22K because, you know, build quality, cameras and all that. So if you are interested in picking one up, give this video a share, drop us a like, follow us on Twitter. We will tweet about it as soon as we know the pricing, Indian as well as global. If you hated this video, then you know what to do. But if you did like it, turn that into a thumbs up. Get subscribed to C4eTech and click on that bell icon to become part of our notification squad. So that's it for now. Thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, this here is Ash. You've been watching C4eTech. Goodbye and good night.